We'll continue this overview of the changes made to the 2020 NEC with a brief introduction to the 4 new articles added during the most recent code cycle. This will be a quick look. We'll look at them more in depth in the classes on the chapters where these new articles appear. New articles are generally added to the NEC for 2 reasons: either new technology or to bring sections that relate to the same topic together from other articles in order to make the NEC more coherent and easier to use. For this cycle, 3 of the 4 new articles had the purpose of making the NEC easier to understand. One of the new articles isn't a new technology, but instead deals with a wiring method that's been used on offshore drilling rigs and docks for years. We'll start with Article 242 on overvoltage protection. The NEC has housed overcurrent protection in Article 240 for many years, but the code-making panel created a new article for the 2020 NEC. Article 242 that will now cover overvoltage protection. It's a natural progression for overvoltage protection to follow overcurrent protection requirements. The code sections of Article 242 cover general requirements, installation, and connection for overvoltage protection and overvoltage protective devices. Many of the sections had previously been located in various articles, including Article 280 for surge arresters over 1,000 volts and Article 285, surge protective devices for 1,000 volts or less. Although there are some revisions to the sections to make Article 242 easier to understand, it retains the general organization of previous editions. Part 2 covers surge protective devices permanently installed on premises wiring systems not more than 1,000 volts nominal. Part 3 covers permanently installed surge arresters for wiring systems over 1,000 volts nominal. Article 311 on medium voltage conductors and cable is a new article that addresses the increasing concerns users have experienced in calculating ampacity factors. It was unclear whether Article 328 on medium voltage cable in the 2017 NEC covered every installation of MV cable. The code-making panel decided that moving medium voltage cable out of Article 310 into a new Article 311 and moving all the provisions from Article 328 to Article 311 would eliminate confusion and make Article 310 easier to use. Article 311 now covers the use, installation, construction specifications, and ampacities for medium voltage conductors and MV cable. Article 328 has simply been eliminated. Now, let's look at the new article that has to do with a wiring method not previously included in the NEC, Article 337. It's been added to cover the use, installation, and construction specifications of armored and unarmored Type P cable, rated up through 2,000 volts. Type P cable is defined as a factory assembly of one or more insulated flexible tinned copper conductors with associated equipment grounding conductors with or without a braided metallic armor and with an overall non-metallic jacket. The original proposal for adding Type P cable to the 2020 NEC suggested it for hazardous locations, but during the review process, the panel decided not to limit its use to those types of applications and instead allowed it to be used in a wider industrial application. The final new article added to the 2020 NEC, Article 800, General Requirements for Communication Systems, is in fact a new article with a catch. Much of the content previously found in Article 800 has been relocated to Article 805. This had the effect of opening up space for Article 800 to take on the true aspects of general requirements for communication systems. As a result, Article 805 is now entitled Communication Circuits. Like I mentioned before, Article 805 now only houses the requirements specific to communication circuits. Chapter 8 on communication systems has grown over several editions of the NEC, and many similar requirements were cited in multiple articles. This may have been due to the fact that the code was following the technology, but now has been rectified as the code places the general requirements that apply to all of the articles in Article 800. That sets up a much cleaner line for the codes in Chapter 8, with Article 800 holding the general requirements, followed by Article 805, which takes the name communication circuits that had previously belonged to Article 800, along with a code specific to communication circuits. Chapter 8 in the 2020 NEC should be more concise and clear than previous editions. It's more consistent with how other chapters approach general requirements. That finishes our look at the new articles for the 2020 NEC. We'll now move on to address one significant code change that occurs in Article 90.